Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kirsty and I'm a mum of 4, and in today's video it's going to be a sit down video where I talk about the results of Evie's autism assessment. I'm actually filming on a new camera today, so hopefully this is going to turn out okay. I've actually got 2 of them upstairs with sickness bugs. I'm usually at work, so I've actually got a bit of time where I can film this video. Evie and Esme are the ones upstairs, off with the sickness bug. Evie was up all last night, bless her, and Esme started this morning, so Evie's now sleeping. She's been sleeping for the whole day so far. And yeah, also Sky, if you hear a dog in the background, that is our dog Sky. So if you haven't watched any of our videos, Evie-Mai is 3 years old. She'll be 4 in June. She's going to be starting school this September. And I started this process, I think it was around 16 months. 16 months I noticed something wasn't quite right. And I think I noticed quite early on because we found out that Hayden, her older brother, was autistic when he was, he got diagnosed when in the first year of high school, year 7. So he was about 11, 12 when he was diagnosed. So everything from when he was younger was sort of, I just thought was normal. I was young, he was my first. I got pregnant when I was 19, had him when I was 20. So I just didn't know any different. And the way Hayden acted, I just thought, wow, having a kid is hard. So now that I know what to look out for, I thought it was kind of a case of, am I looking for too much, or because I think I know, or is this actually happening? So yeah, from that age, that's where it started. And now Evie-Mai is 3 years and 7 months, I think. So we received our final report on our last appointment with the paediatrician, where she went over everything with us. And they basically said that Evie-Mai meets the criteria for an autism diagnosis. So she has a diagnosis, she is autistic. Even though it's something that I knew was going to be the case, but it's still hard to hear. It still shed some tears. I don't know why, just I'm an emotional person anyway, I think, but it is hard to hear, even if you know. So yeah, I'm gonna go through her report. I'll probably make another video telling you the process of how we got from the 16 months thinking about it to this diagnosis. But just for this one, I'm just going to go over her report, and they always start off with the strengths because who doesn't love to hear about the strengths? Evie-Mai has developed relationships with familiar adults and will respond to them when they give her direction or offer her help. She seems to enjoy engaging with her. She seems to enjoy them engaging with her and will join in when they develop simple games such as hiding an object or tickling her. Evie-Mai will play alongside other children, and there are times when she will watch them. Evie-Mai will respond to adults when they use Makaton. Evie-Mai will show adult things. There are times when she will seek out their attention. Evie-Mai will follow simple verbal instructions from adults. So there are Evie's strengths, and I agree, she has got some lovely strengths. She's such a happy, beautiful little girl. And she's got many strengths. Basically, this letter just goes through the needs. So Evie-Mai is non-verbal. If you guys haven't watched any of our videos, so Evie-Mai can say mama and dada. She can say nai, which means sky. She's a massive Paw Patrol fan, obsessed with it. So obviously Sky from Paw Patrol, and also we named our dog Sky. And she can say nana, which is for banana, but she doesn't say that often. Apart from that, it's just noises. So Evie-Mai is non-verbal. There are times when she will make noises, and there are occasional verbalizations that sound like approximation of words when she's counting. So when Evie-Mai is counting, she will make a different sound. So she will go whereas she doesn't do that when she's talking, but when there's numbers involved, you know that she's on about numbers. Evie-Mai often doesn't initiate social interaction. However, there are limited occasions when she directed her verbalizations at others. Evie-Mai often smiles, and facial expression sometimes does not reflect how she's feeling. So at preschool they said she smiles all the time, she's super happy, but she also doesn't smiles at the wrong times as well. It says, at preschool there are times when Evie-Mai will turn her back on what is going on in the room and becomes completely engrossed in what she is doing. At these times it's difficult to get her attention. Evie-Mai often struggles to ask for help. She doesn't seek comfort if she hurts herself. Evie-Mai finds it difficult to understand verbal instructions. Evie-Mai will use some limited gestures. She will nod and shake her head in response to questions from adults, but sometimes these are very subtle and easily missed. Evie-Mai will stand alongside other children when engaged in activities and does watch her peers. She doesn't like other children to interfere, join in with her play. At preschool, Evie-Mai engages in activities of her own choosing and sometimes will become completely engrossed in these. At these times she needs an adult to remind her that the other children are waiting. There was 3 people involved in the diagnostic process. There's a list of everywhere we went and who we've seen. So basically they use something called DSM-V, criteria for diagnosis of autism, and they have to meet the criteria. So in this one, it's deficits in use of understanding of social communication and interaction in multiple contexts, not accounted for by general development delays, and they must meet 3 out of 3 of these to get a diagnosis. Like it says on here, during the ADOS, she did not initiate social interaction. There are times Evie-Mai will turn her back. During the ADOS, she didn't try to request help or respond when the assessor offered to help. During the ADOS, Evie-Mai didn't give or show objects to any of the adults in the room to get their attention. Evie-Mai's response to adults calling her name is inconsistent. There are times when she does turn, but when engrossed, she tends to ignore adults' attempts. And then they have like a setting report, which I guess is preschool, and then they have a parent report in that bit as well. And the next bit is, so the first one, sorry, that I was just reading then was deficits and social emotional reciprocity. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. The second one is deficits in non-verbal communicative behaviours used for social interaction. And then again, it's got the clinicians' observations, the setting report, and the parent report. And yeah, here it says about the smiling. You cannot tell how she's feeling by her facial expression. They said Evie-Mai will always smile even if it's not appropriate. And then number 3 is deficits in developing and maintaining relationships appropriate to development level beyond those with caregivers. And it goes on about her choosing to play alone. She'll sit alongside children but not join in. And it says here about Evie was painting and she painted another child's hand, but there was no communication towards the children at all, which the clinician thought was very strange. So yeah, she scored 3 out of 3 for that one. So the next one is restrictive, repetitive patterns of behaviour, interests or activities as manifest by 2 out of the 4 of the following. So she needs to get 2 out of the 4 of these to have an autism diagnosis. So the first one is stereotyped or repetitive characteristics, and she scored yes to this. Again, each one has clinicians, then the preschool setting, and then mine. And then the lady said that Evie-Mai jumps up and down, and another occasion where she claps. And during the ADOS assessment, Evie-Mai was flapping her hands when she was excited. The setting said that like she lines up the toys and she engages in repetitive behaviours. But she does a lot at home with stuff like that, with circling, walking on tiptoes, lining up things, emptying things out, putting things back. She does quite repetitive things quite a lot of the time. Like every time I make her milk, she goes around in circles until it's ready, and there's quite a lot of things, probably not off the top of my head, but a lot. Yeah, she's very, very repetitive. Number 2 was excessive adherence to routines, ritualized patterns of behaviour, excessive resistance to change. The lady put on here to some extent. The preschool put that she finds transitions difficult. I would have said yes to this one as well, because she gets very upset if she doesn't do it her way. So, but again, things are different, I suppose, at home than at other places, so it is hard to know, and that's why they go to preschool. They ask what you think, that's what they think, and she actually watches them herself, so they all get a view the best they can. They're not obviously going to see everything, but the next one is highly restricted, fixated interests that are abnormal to intensity or focus, and the lady put yes to this, so already that's 2 out of 4. She put that Evie-Mai was engaged in painting and she needed an adult to get her to move away. She becomes engrossed in things, and Evie-Mai, and then preschool says she has intense interest and she has to carry specific objects around with her. At home it will be Paw Patrol. She watches that over and over. We've got Netflix, so I think it's 3 seasons, and those ones just go over and over again, and then they end and I have to find it again, and then it's just over and over all the time. The next one was hyper or hyper reactivity to sensory input or an unusual interest in sensory aspects of the environment, and the lady put on here to some extent. So again, I would have said yes to this one at home, because at home Evie-Mai is absolutely obsessed with water. She would just have a bath every day if she could and just stay in there hours and hours. She runs my sink all the time, empties it, runs it again, plays with toys in there. That is her happy place, basically. She would play with water all day if she could. The lady saw her at preschool. She was just painting her hands. So at home, she grabs my hand and puts her hand over her face. She wants to be stroked all the time, and she also covers her face with blankets and pillows when she goes to bed. But obviously they've not seen any of that, and also mud as well in the summer, not so much now because I don't let them outside. She would dig the holes, and then Sky, my dog, started digging holes. So yeah, she taught the dog how to dig, but she loves just playing in the mud. But again, on this, so on this bit, the actual preschool didn't notice anything different with sensory, so I'm not too sure. I kind of feel like they would have noticed something about sensory in preschool, but I guess that every child plays with everything, so I'm not too sure on that one and why they've said that. So yeah, so she scored 2 yeses on that one and 2 to some extent. So that overall, all of that together, that was how she met the criteria for autism. So now we finally got a diagnosis. It's kind of what's next. Obviously with school creeping up is a bit of a worry. I did apply for ECHP, I think that's the right way around, sorry if I've got it wrong. But I did apply for one of those myself before she got the diagnosis, because someone, actually a lady in the comments, said that it takes like a long time, so I applied for that myself. And the preschool did help, and it just got rejected for lack of evidence. So now we've got evidence. The preschool's now saying that they don't think we should, because it's apparently really hard to get one. So they're thinking about other options. Obviously I just want the best for Evie-Mai. I just don't want her to start school and not have any help. So any help or advice would be great, because although I do have an older son who is autistic, I didn't find out until later on, so I didn't have to do any of this, plus the fact that he was verbal. In fact, he was the opposite. He was chatty, wouldn't stop chatting. So they are very, very different. And yeah, so any advice, please let me know, because I'm definitely a noob, and I just want to make sure she's going to be okay, because it's scary. It is. And I actually watched a video the other day of another YouTuber, and her kid, her little girl, has been diagnosed with apraxia, and I kind of feel like Evie has those same sort of things. So I think we get to see a speech therapist once. We've still not even seen a speech therapist, because if you go down the autism route, then you don't go down the speech therapy route, which is a bit strange, but that's how it is. And I'm going to mention that because I think that Evie does have apraxia, and that is the bit that's worrying. But she's such a lush little girl. She runs into preschool, and every day now we say love you. She runs in, doesn't turn back round, but behind her little back, she's like love you, does the Makaton for love you, and runs in. She's great. Any other videos you would like me to do, please leave a comment, or if you want to talk about your child. I like hearing, I know every child is so different, and you just, like, when Evie first didn't start talking, I googled everything, and you can't find a child the same. It's just every child is so different, so you can't look like them and say, oh, my child talked when she was 3, but it's just good. I'm glad that we have got diagnosis as well, because it's hard sometimes as well when people say to you, oh, but she's fine, give her time, her siblings just talk for her, you know, oh, there's nothing wrong with her, she looks okay. It is frustrating when, you know, you knew something wasn't quite right from an early age, and then you have people just like, I know they're probably trying to be nice, but it's still hard to hear. But yeah, it's done. We've got the diagnosis, so thank you for watching this video, and hopefully I can do more videos. I'm working full-time now, so it is a little hard, but thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope that you are all okay. And you know, if you're on this journey, good luck. It's a hard journey, but you'll get there in the end. Okay, thanks guys, bye.